On display, on display, on display. Woo!
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of On Display. I'm so excited to talk to you guys today, and I'm going to have a juicy episode today. We're going to talk, we're going to chit chat, we're going to get all the juice. You guys have seen him on TikTok because he's made quite a name for himself covering all the big shows on reality TV. And he has all the skinny when it comes to all the behind the scenes stuff that most of us don't get to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I have Zachary Reality. What's
Well,
up?
hello, Melissa Gorga. It's so fun to be here. This is, I think, my first Housewives podcast ever.
Is it? Oh my
Yes.
God, I'm
So I'm
breaking your
honored.
seal.
I'm honored. I've been a huge Housewives fan for probably like 8 years. I've been watching all the shows consistently. So I'm so excited to finally be on your podcast. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. I'm so excited to have you. I said to my producers, we need some juicy talk about reality, the tea kind of stuff. And I was like, this is our guy. Let's get him. You're good for all of that. I watch all of your stuff on TikTok and on Instagram. I think you're very entertaining and you get it right a lot of the time. And you just you do it in a way where it's juicy without being nasty. So I appreciate
Mm.
that,
I like to just call it for what it is. Say the facts, say my opinion, and not try and hurt anyone's feelings because it's just entertainment at the end of the day. And I'm watching TV every night, Melissa. There are multiple shows on every night. I'm keeping up with everything going on. So it truly is a full-time job.
It is a full-time job. And I've learned that just from getting this podcast for the last couple of years because when I have guests on, we do talk a lot about what's going on and what shows on and what's hot and what's not. And I'm like, holy shit, I can't keep up with all of these. And it's did I see the latest episode of Traitors? Did I see the last episode of Housewives, whatever it is? And I'm like, how do these people do it? You have to watch TV all day long.
Yeah, but when it's your job, that's what you
It's
do.
literally your job.
Yeah, you're clocking in, just it's the best job ever. But also, you can read the articles and they do sum everything up, word for word. So if you miss an episode, I will read an article, I'll look at Spark Notes. Everyone's got it covered, you know?
Of course. A lot of times I'll miss, even with Beverly Hills, it's my show. I watch Beverly Hills. I enjoy it. I'm invested and I miss it sometimes. But then the next day on Instagram, you can literally just know exactly all the hot points of what happened. And I'm like, I don't even need to watch that episode. I know exactly what just happened. And I
Mhm.
sometimes I'll skip because Instagram spoils it for us sometimes
Mm.
too, you know?
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. But before we get into all of these reality shows and a lot of the juicy stuff, I want to talk about you for a minute because I want my fans to learn about you, know who you are. I
Mhm.
mean, first of all, you are officially from Long Island, right?
Yeah, Long Island, New York is where I grew up, and I went to college in New Jersey, and that is where I met you all those years ago. I don't know if you remember when we met
So we met at Envy, right?
at Envy.
And I'm
Yes,
trying to think, because was it a random day or was it when there was a lot of people
you
there?
had an event,
Okay.
and it was some type of event, and basically I was in my last year of college at Caldwell University. I was studying broadcast journalism, and I was living in Verona. It was my last year of school, so it was really close to Montclair, and this is when I was just getting into Housewives because my roommate was a big Housewives fan. So then I was like, oh my God, why would I not go to Melissa Gorga's store when she's down the road? And I remember telling you specifically what I wanted to do for work, which is what I'm doing now. So it's actually kind of full circle that we're here.
Oh my God. Isn't that crazy? See,
Hmm.
I love that. I love that.
Hmm.
So okay, you can be dead honest with me. When you met me in person, how was I? Was I friendly that day? Was I
Of
stressed
course.
out? Be honest. How was I?
You were so sweet. You were so great. I feel like you listened to me.
Oh,
And
good.
I mean, I've always loved watching you on the show because I really do feel like you're so mature and just easy to get along with and cool. You're just a nice girl. So I loved meeting you and I love watching you always because you're just level headed.
Yes, I think that's always been I can't even call it my character because the truth is, it is who I am. I am I'm always looking for the fun. I always want a cocktail if we're out.
Hmm.
But, I'm kind of like that voice of reason. I'm going
Yeah.
to say in the interview that they use my talking heads a lot because they kind of like me to narrate. Like I come in and I say what you're all thinking and then I like back out,
And
So
we
it's
need that
like,
on every show, a voice of reason. Like Beverly Hills, Erica Jane is that right now. Like I love the
yes. Oh
person.
my God. I'm dying for everything she's saying right now, by
Hmm.
the
And
way.
on
Are you not?
Atlanta, yeah, I am. On Atlanta, we have Cynthia Bailey, who I feel like has really been clocking in as the voice of reason this season. And I'm just here for the person who says it like it is. And that's
Right.
it.
Right. And it's kind of like you're not being nasty or this, you're just being like, no, 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 no. You said this, here's the facts. And then you
Hmm.
kind of like back up.
Right. And my like job on TikTok is to just create conversation, like break down the show and then get people continuing to talk about it. So I feel like that's what I do, like facilitating it. And maybe that's kind of why we click too.
Yes. So when you were in Montclair, did you go to Montclair University? Is that where you went to school?
No, Caldwell University.
Oh, you went to Caldwell. Did you study this?
Yeah. So originally studied communications and media studies, but by senior year, I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. And I kind of learned that, like, with newscasting, you can do any topic you want. Like, and I really liked reality TV since I grew up watching reality TV. So I kind of just combined the two worlds that I loved and created my own type of world on this app called TikTok.
Right. TikTok is great. Did you find it was a lot easier to kind of get the word out there and make people be aware of you on TikTok than Instagram, right? It's just an
Yeah,
easier.
I think so.
It spreads like wildfire, like on TikTok, where I feel like Instagram, you need to get the followers up. TikTok, it doesn't matter if you really have the followers or not. It just people see your stuff,
If
you
you have a
know?
good video and it's, on that right day of the algorithm, people will see your stuff. But I think it's just the easiest way to blow up because it's an app that truly lets people just be themselves. Like there's no judgment on there where I feel like there's so much judgment on Instagram and other places.
Agreed. Agreed. I mean, I have to say, I'm an Instagram girl. I love Instagram, but then I started playing with TikTok and I'm like, it's crazy how fast your video just goes like, and now I'm like, you make money on TikTok for these
Mhm.
videos. I'm sure you do this as well. When they're over a minute, you're actually making money for all of these views, which I think is awesome.
Mhm.
They don't really do that on Instagram, do they? I don't know if they.
They they do with some people, but you have to have like a really like large following for it. But the TikTok has the creator fund. So if you make a video that's over a minute, you will get paid for your watch time and your views. Because some people only watch 10 seconds of the video, some people sit to the whole minute and a half or whatever. So,
Right.
I can say that TikTok and the creator fund is my full-time job. It's how I make my living. I'm very happy with what I make on there and it's so cool that that's what I get to do because I didn't expect it to be in this way. Like I liked the journalism, but now it's just like so much more convenient.
Agreed. And there's a lot of people out there that would love to do what you're doing, which is like reviewing content, influencing. Do you have what's the name? Like, so what would you call yourself? What is the proper name for what you do?
Right. I mean, I would say content creator,
That's what
reality
I was gonna say.
TV, um, commentator, entertainment host is like official or what I want to be. If I don't want to explain my job to a stranger at the bar, I'll say TV advertising.
Okay, good. And then they're just like, okay, so you don't
Yeah,
have to get into it.
exactly. Because I don't want to talk about Bravo when at the bar all the time, Like sometimes like, you got to shut the brain off and just like live a little. You can't live in this reality world, especially when it is your job. Like I got to completely separate it too.
Yeah, of course. Or it like sucks you in. It like sucks you dry. You're just doing Bravo or whatever it is 24 hours a day. And
It's
you're
a
like,
little
you're
different for me than you because I'm not involved in the drama, so it
right.
doesn't emotionally affect me. But yeah, it could be a lot.
Ugh. Okay, so now you're living in Hollywood. You moved right before the pandemic, right?
6 months before the pandemic
What made you go out there?
to pursue entertainment, and I think because I went to school in New Jersey growing up in New York, I was so ready to like go to the other coast and like tackle LA head on. The palm trees, it just felt like a fresh start. So it was a no brainer for me, and I moved out there when I was 22, no job, and I was like, I'm gonna figure it out.
Wow. And was that difficult, especially during the pandemic? It had to be hard.
It was so hard because I finally found a job after like 5 months of interviewing, and then I couldn't start the job because of the pandemic. So I had to go file for unemployment. And then that's also when TikTok started. So everything's a blessing in disguise. But those first couple years in LA were some of the hardest years of my life.
Wow. I can imagine like crazy. It was hard for everyone. So imagine just moving somewhere new and trying to like get settled. At least people who had bosses already, they kind of had to take care of their employees and everyone could like, but when you didn't have a previous one taking care of you, that had to be like really difficult.
Yeah, it was hard to find community and it was hard to make money from the start. So I'm glad that those years are over because I feel like as you get older, life becomes more bliss.
1,000%. Do you like it better? What coast are you liking better? I mean, you grew up on the East Coast, you're on the West Coast. Where's home for you now?
Right. The more I've been here, the more I visit, and now I'll go back for like 5 weeks and stuff. I always said I would do my 20s in LA, and I think I'll move to New York City because I've never had that experience, but I'm 30, so in just about 3 years, I'm 27 now.
Okay. All right. But you like Hollywood so far. You're all set
Yeah,
out there.
I love it, and I know I'll be done with it in the next couple of years too, you know?
You So that's good. See, that's the best part. Moving around, like that's awesome that you have the
Yeah.
ability to even do that with what you do. You could be anywhere, really, right? I
Hmm.
mean,
Yeah, I love to travel because I can make my TikToks anywhere.
it's so true. So okay, so tell me a little juice. Like, what are your favorite shows right now? What are you watching? Talk to me.
Well, do you like The Bachelor? Like, that is my number one favorite show.
I know you're a huge Bachelor fan. So I used to watch so much back in the day when it was like the thing. And not that it's not anymore, but like
Hmm.
I haven't watched it as recently, but I know a lot of my listeners do. So give us some juice on The Bachelor.
Well, tonight is the finale. So I'm excited. I feel like everyone gets more excited when there's a finale because this is where we get the answer we've been waiting for. Like, who is he with? And are they still together? Did they get engaged? So, Melissa, there's this rumor that apparently he has a really difficult time deciding who to pick between the final two girls, Juliana and Latia. So, apparently, the host offers him a coin flip that will help him guide him to his decision. What do you think about that?
A coin flip to decide who you love?
Hmm.
Seriously? No, like I think that kills. I don't like that at all. I feel like you need to know like which way to go and then it's going to feel so unauthentic. Like even for the viewers, isn't that annoying? We're going to flip a coin to see who this guy loves.
But also it's like a way for him to really decide because he could feel disappointment if it lands on the wrong side, and it almost will like really get him to figure it out in the air.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's juicier. I actually like that better. But at first I was like, we're just gonna pick
And
whoever
that
it
was my
lands on.
first thought when I heard about this, but one of my commentators gave what I just said, that I was like, oh wait, you're right, it takes a second.
Yes. Do you have a favorite between the two girls?
I like Juliana. I think that they just have a lot better chemistry and connection, and I think she's more fun. So I hope that he picks her and that they're still together, but there's definitely been some rumors. So I'm just hoping we get like a scandalous finale. I feel like I like when, it makes it more fun for me to talk about it when we get some good juice. So
Of
I have high
course.
hopes for tonight that it's not a letdown.
All right. Well, all my Bachelor fans out there, oh my God, my cousins, my family, they all go
Hmm.
nuts over it. So have fun with that tonight. That'll be
Hmm.
exciting. Didn't you hear didn't the Bachelor in Paradise or something? There was like a lot. They took a year off and all of that from the Bachelor in Paradise. And there was all this drama with the spinoffs and
Hmm.
all this stuff. That's all true, right?
Yeah, so they took a year off from Bachelor in Paradise last year, but they're bringing it back this year. And because they're bringing it back, they're taking The Bachelorette off this year. So they just kind of switch franchises, especially now that since they have the Golden Bachelor. So it's not that serious.
Do you like the Golden Bachelor?
I really only liked the with the women because the women were so funny, but with the one with all the men, I just didn't think it was interesting.
I always thought my mother, like when we first heard about this, I'm like, Mom, she's 76. I'm like, you
Hmm.
need to go because my mother has Donna Marco is spunky. She has energy. She's fun.
Mm.
She would be great. I always said, Ma, you have to go on that. Like, we'll all laugh at you. You'll be so much. And she's like, No, I'm not kissing on
Just
reality
sign her up.
TV.
I think you should sign her
Yes.
up behind her back because that's how all these people get on the show, especially The Bachelor. It's like their friends sign them up, especially after they go through a heartbreak or if they're single. So if they call her, she'll just get convinced into doing it.
Yeah, me and my sisters were thinking about it and being like, listen, the producers are on their way. Like, just go. Like, you'll be amazing. Plus, people already know her. I just want her
Hmm.
to do the Golden Bachelor. But,
Yeah,
um,
for sure. But well, let me ask you this. Out of all the housewives, who do you think would be the best on The Bachelor?
okay, so we're gonna pick a single girl, obviously, right?
Yeah, and I guess no one on your cast is even single.
No, we're like such the married family
Opposite of
cast.
Beverly
Yes.
Hills.
Who would be great on it? First came to mind was Ashley Darby. Would she be good
Mhm.
on it? I feel like
Yeah.
isn't she like a dating single girl that's out there dating? I feel like she like says her opinion on men
Mhm.
as well. Um, who else? Who
Mm.
else? Who else? I mean, Bryn. I would love to see Bryn in a dating situation. I know she's controversial right now, whatever's going on with
Mm.
all of that. But what about Bryn? I mean, as could say what you want about Bryn. I think she's so sexy. I do. I think that she like flips hair and she just knows how to move her body. I just think she's a very sexy woman. I've always said
Right.
that.
I loved her the first season and I thought she was so flirty, but she just really flopped hard on season two.
I
So hopefully
know.
she gets her comeback because now I'm just like, eh. But this is a good transition because Love Hotel is coming out soon, and that's Luann, Shannon, Giselle, and Ashley. And that will be on Bravo and Peacock. Then the housewives will be dating for the first time on TV.
Yes, and I also that'll be great. And I feel like they're gonna keep that'll be like a series that they keep doing because then there'll be the next four that come up, and then there'll be
Mm,
the next four. So I actually think that I think that that show is gonna continue.
I'm here for it. I think it's a good concept.
Oh, me too. Lots of fun. Like, I love that Bravo's starting to kind of lean into like these smaller, kind of like a one and done show type of thing where you're on it. You're not like
Hmm.
on it for a very long time, but it's kind of like people join Traders. People are going to join the Love Hotel. I feel like Bravo's kind of leaning into the not keeping this long cast together forever because I feel like it's problematic, right? With Housewives
Hmm.
because you get these girls that are they're very, and I'm not excusing our own franchise by the way,
Right.
but like you get like these situations where everyone gets so mad and it's so hard for them to continue to forgive or to go back to the filming, and it just I think Bravo has been dealing with a lot of headaches when it comes to the casts, you know.
Right, right. And we'll have to talk about Jersey. But I do love all these crossovers. I think it's so much fun. Like Ultimate Girls Trip, I mean, The Summer House and The Southern Charm, those shows are kind of going at it
Oh
too
my
right
god.
now.
Yes, so let's talk about that for a second. What do you think of the whole Paige and Craig thing? Are you team Paige? Are you team Craig? What do you feel?
I think Paige should have dumped him a year ago. And that's kind of why I'm like maybe a little bit more Team Craig, because I really felt like she knew and she knew it was over, but she kind of like left him hanging. And it didn't have to be
Yeah.
her priority because she got so many cool work opportunities. So that became her priority. And Craig's feelings, got left behind. So I just think she should have ended it sooner. And that's why I have sympathy for Craig.
Right. No, I agree that she was very busy. She got very, and God bless her, she's got amazing work opportunities going on. And I think she kind of was avoiding like the problem in a way as much as she could until it got to the point where she was like, all right, we got to actually do something about this. And
Hmm.
I think he was kind of thinking, oh, this maybe she's going to grow out of this. Maybe she's just going to let her do these couple work things she's doing. She's going to come wanting me all the time again. But I always thought from when I saw them together that I thought it was a little lopsided, the relationship,
Hmm.
and I wasn't sure, and I used to always say like, when are you guys gonna get married? When are you guys gonna get engaged? And they would both kind of just look at me like, like
Exactly,
I
and
don't
that's your answer. It's like you want to meet someone that you're excited about. You're dating them for 3 years because you're excited to get married to them eventually, if that's what you want. It felt like Craig was building this beautiful house in Charleston and like wanting to create this life, and she just had her own plans. But I think ultimately, like, she did him a favor and she set him up. So now he's got his act together and he'll find a great girl that will fit into his life. And I'm sure she'll find a great man too. So hopefully they could be friends. It feels like it's getting a little petty right now with all the after shows and stuff, but I think both parties are just eager to tell their sides, which I understand. But hopefully after these reunions and this seasons are over, that they can kind of be friendlier because they had a solid friendship first.
I agree with you 100%. See, this is why you're so good at that. That's exactly what I wanted to say. That makes complete sense. And that's really what they should do because I just feel like they're opposites. I don't think she's ever leaving New York City. Like she's
Yeah.
a New Yorker, her
And he's a
family's there.
Charleston boy.
Yes, and he's a true like Southern Charleston boy, and it's a shame. Like they just were on different planets, is how I feel.
Hmm.
But it kind of like worked for a while, and they had fun together, and it's sad, but it is what it is, and hopefully they will. I agree with that. Like I think they will eventually like get back together as friends and be
Yeah.
cordial and whatever it might be.
It's just a lot of
Um,
shady questions that will come their way via Andy Cohen, which could continue the feud a little bit longer.
I know. Well, Andy loves this. He's loving a good breakup. He's just like, give me all the juice. He
I
wants
love
to know
him.
it all.
I love him.
Yes, of course. That's his job. He gets the
Hmm.
juice from all of us. I'm always looking for ways to make drinking cleaner water easier so I don't even have to think about it. Having safe, clean water is the last thing you want to worry about. But unfortunately, according to extensive research by the Environmental Working Group, 3 out of 4 homes in America have harmful contaminants in their tap water. That's why you've got to check out AquaTrue. AquaTrue purifiers use a 4-stage reverse osmosis purification process, and their countertop purifiers work with no installation or plumbing. It removes 15 times more contaminants than ordinary pitcher filters and are specifically designed to combat chemicals like PFAs in your water supply. PFAs are nasty, and long-term exposure to high concentrations of them can potentially lead to adverse health effects like cancer and liver toxicity, which is why it's good to know that AquaTrue removes PFAs. Plus, AquaTrue filters are affordable and long-lasting. No changing filters every 2 to 3 months because they last from 6 months to 2 years. Yep, just one set of filters from their classic purifier makes the equivalent of 4,500 bottles of water. Plus, you'll save the environment from tons of plastic waste. Guys, we recently moved over to AquaTrue water purifiers in our household, and I can truly taste the difference in the quality of our water. AquaTrue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee and even makes a great gift. Today, my listeners receive 20% off any AquaTrue purifier. Just go to aquatrue.com. That's AQUATRU.com and enter code Melissa at checkout. That's 20% off any AquaTrue water purifier when you go to aquatrue.com and use code MELISSA. On Display with Melissa Gorga is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game, shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help you find options within your budget. Try it today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states. This is what I wanted to ask you too when it comes to Vanderpump. Lisa Vanderpump getting her own Vanderpump Villa on Hulu. Do you think she probably pitched it to Bravo first and they didn't want it?
Maybe, but I also think Lisa was so over Bravo because of the Beverly Hills and the Vanderpump. I think she has bigger plans. I mean, she is an empire and she is an icon. My hot take on Vanderpump, though, is that they should not be rebranding the cast at the same restaurant. You can't repeat history. I think the show's going to flop. I think if she wanted to create a new show, she should have done it at one of her other restaurants in Lake Tahoe or Vegas. You can't rewrite history at the same restaurant.
I agree. That show is way too powerful, and you can't put them in the same place, behind the same registers and behind the same bar and make us all. I am shocked that they're actually doing it at the same spot.
And
when is that supposed to come out?
They're filming now. I live 15 minutes from SUR, so I might have to check it out and see what's going on, and I'll have to report back.
Have you been there at all?
Of course. Of course. I mean, that's the Strip, the West Hollywood Strip. There's SUR, there's Tom Tom. Pump unfortunately closed a year or two ago, and that was such a fun spot.
I know. I used to go there with my cousin. He loved it there. He had so much fun. But yeah, that's sad that closed. I just think a lot of Hollywood in that area, they just took a hit for a minute, right? A lot of the businesses.
There's just so many restaurants, so it's if you're not having customers, the rent is probably too high.
Right. Okay, talk to me about Traitors for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I know that have you been seeing these rumors about who's coming next?
I cannot wait to see.
Wait, who have you heard?
No one.
You haven't? I think
No.
Bravo Cocktails put something out saying maybe Margaret, Dorinda's coming back. I've heard things about Frankie Grande. Have you heard any of this?
Yeah, there's so much speculation about Traitors. Until they actually go, we won't know for sure because there could be so many people in talks. And I think once they go, maybe there'll be leaks because I think the producers will leak it. I think they do that, to be honest, on Reddit pages and stuff. Am I wrong?
Yes. Yeah.
That took me forever too to realize how the internet works because I haven't been doing this internet thing forever, but since I started working, then I started to understand because I have not been on the internet forever. I really have only been on it for 5 or 7 years, right? So it's such a weird world, but I love Traitors so much. It's such a good show, and I like when they release the cast in advance so we know.
I know, but I feel like the cast does change with traders last minute. Like once the contracts get going and people really realize traders is not easy. Like you are going to work the hardest when you go to traders. I'm sure you guys know this already though. There it's like 24/7,
Mm.
3 weeks straight, no phone. I mean, oh, I it's the only one I haven't like said, "Hey, like nope,
Did you
I'm good."
go?
Like no, no. It's just I do love the show and when I watch it I'm like, "Oh my god, I'd be so good at this because it's like I would be able to do this so well." But what I wouldn't be good at is being away from my I don't feel like it's good for people that have younger kids exactly and businesses and like I could not leave my house and not speak to anybody for 3 weeks or talk to anyone at Envy or
Yeah.
like now I have the whole sprinkle company that's
Mm.
ridiculous. So it's like it would be very rough for me. If I can do it and still be on the phone, I think I could do it. But like
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I think I'll do other things. Like I'll let everyone else do that right now because that's like although it's a hit show and shout out to Dolores for winning it first housewife Bravo celebrity. What did you think of her gameplay? Like what do you think what was her thing?
It's so fun to see her because it was like kind of similar to how she's on The Housewives. Like she really does stay in the middle. Maybe you could say she trusts the wrong people. She really is, I'm not surprised. She is everyone's friend. And the point of traders is to be everyone's friend so that nobody wants to murder you. So it makes sense to me that she won and that people trusted her as a faithful because she's a very honest person. She has a lot of integrity. I don't think she would be a traitor based on what I know about her from Housewife. She's loyal, she's straight up. So I think she played a great game and I'm not surprised that she won.
Right. I said if Dolores can't win this, no one can because no one can play Switzerland better than Dolores. Like no one knows how to like juggle both sides better than her. I was like, this is
Hmm.
her game. Like this is what she does. And she stayed super notice at the tables, like she didn't come for like sometimes I yelled at the TV. I'm like, wait, who did she just vote for? Like I was actually like, wait, where that came out of left field? But I
Right.
also thought that was part of her strategy, like not going for anyone, going for like someone that's totally out of whack. So it's like they don't come for her. Right.
Right.
Like there was a method to her madness that she's very good at. Like, listen, anyone who can handle both sides of our show and have everyone still like them, it's like
Yeah.
you're good at what you do for
I
sure.
know. It's yeah, for sure. I mean, she was managing the traders and the faithfuls, and it's really hard to be friends with people who, have different goals, right? Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
traders and the faithfuls are on different teams or on the housewives, they're some of the girls are out to get each other. So it's really hard for her to do it, but she does it so well. And we're also seeing this on Summer House where Paige, she's kind of in the middle too. And Amanda, are you watching Summer House this season?
I am. I haven't watched the last like 2 episodes. I
Mm,
started it in the beginning, but I'm lost now. I got to catch up. But tell
right.
us.
Yeah, so Kyle, he got mad at Paige because of something that
Yes.
Craig did and also something that Hannah Berner like said about him on like an interview.
Right.
Right.
I
So
saw that.
so Paige is friends with both and she manages to not talk about either party. She doesn't want to get involved, but she wants to keep being friends with both people. Right. So Kyle, he kind of effed up because he decided to like rage text Paige about something they were doing that pissed him off. And she already said she doesn't want to be in the middle. So why are you bothering her about it?
Right. So yes, and I saw that a lot of people are getting on Kyle for that. I feel like people love Paige, right? They do. They just love her on that show, and she kind of
Hmm.
has like that snarky housewives vibe. I feel like she can be in the next generation of housewives. Do you want to hear something crazy that I was just talking to Rachel Fuda about actually?
Hmm.
That show and the ages, like how old's Kyle? I think Kyle and I are the same age. Okay.
Kyle, yeah, he's 41 though.
Is he?
Or
Oh, okay.
43.
I thought he was like I thought he was 45 by the way, but maybe I'm wrong. But I was just talking to Rachel Fuda about this and I'm like it's so like crazy to watch them on Summer House because I joined Housewives the like at the same age. I was 30 years old when I joined Housewives and I had
Mm,
3 kids. I had a newborn. I was 31. I had a newborn and I was like look at what they're doing, like look, and this is not a dig to either party because life is crazy, but it's
mhm.
crazy sometimes for me to watch them and be like, oh my God, I had 3 kids. I was running like a full functioning house. And like,
Yeah.
and then I was on house and I was like, which way's better to go? Damn, should I have partied until I was 37 years old? Or do I, my, like, I guess to each
No,
their
no,
own,
you're
but
you're partying now because now your kids are like independent and you're still, so youthful and fun. So now you're at your golden era.
well, thank you. But it's true. Like now I'm like, I party half the time. My kids can come with me and like we're at
Hmm.
restaurants together and we have fun. But I giggle watching them like in the hot tubs and like throwing share houses. And I'm like, what? I was married with 3 kids. I
I
had my own
know.
like, and it's just so crazy to watch it because then I was like, I'm like, wait, did I do something wrong? But no, I
Hmm.
did not. I'm happy with the way it is. But it's just crazy how and Rachel Fuda is their age, by the way, and she's
Yeah.
home with 3 kids, well, 4 kids
Four
as
kids
well.
now. Yeah.
Yes.
I think
So
that if the show didn't keep coming on, they would have like evolved more. But I think like when that paycheck and that job, like you're just gonna keep going back to the house. And a lot of them are growing and evolving, but I don't really feel like Kyle necessarily is. He's very immature on the show. He kind of pisses me off.
he is definitely like a Peter Pan where he's
Hmm.
gonna keep it going and keep the party going. And I think you hit the nail on the head where it's like as long as that contract keeps coming back and Bravo keeps putting them back in this Hamptons house, no one's gonna be like, I think when it ends is when they're all going to be like, oh my God, okay, so let's
Now
get
what?
married and have babies and let's
Hmm.
like move to the next phase of life or whatever it is. But for now, they're like, screw it, we're partying at the share house, you
Yeah, and
know?
if they're like a really strong cast, they can always take a few years off and then come back like Jersey Shore Family Vacation did, and then they made it
Right.
a whole new show and then they can do it forever if that's what works.
Agreed. Agreed. I love Southern Charm too. I'm like fans of both of those shows because they feel different than Housewives. Like I get sick of like the same old kind of thing with Housewives and I
Hmm.
love Housewives, no dig, but I do like to switch it up a little bit and watch that. It makes me happy. Let me ask you this. Who's your pick for Traders? Like if you can pick 3 people for Traders, who you picking?
I want to see Caitlin Bristow go on there. She was a former Bachelorette.
Yes, I know who
She's
she is.
great. I want to
Okay.
see Trisha Paytas, but she's pregnant, so she probably won't do it this year now with her like third kid, like back to back.
Okay.
But she's so funny. I love when they mix people up. And I think Dylan Efron was so good because his brother was an actor, and that's how he was able to spot the traitors. Because like your brother is different on camera than off. So I really think they need to cast like Brandy Cyrus, Miley Cyrus's sister. She loves reality TV, and she would thrive on the show.
Wait, so I feel like they're leaning into that, like family of very famous people, finding the cousins, finding the sister. I think that's actually genius for them to do.
A
Like,
hundred percent.
right? Like leaning into that. Okay, let me tell you who I want. I want
Hmm.
like OG reality stars. Like, I want to see like Sharon Osbourne and Jessica
Ooh.
Simpson. I know Jessica Simpson's not doing this, but like, that's I grew up watching. That's to me, Housewives are not OG. Like, these are
Hmm.
the OGs. Like, I want to see Jessica Simpson. I want to see Osbournes or one of
Hmm.
the Osbournes. I'll take one of the kids. I'd love to see Sharon do that. Like the OG from the real world, like we're going
Hmm.
way back to like original reality TV from like even before Bravo that like kind of paved the way are the ones that
Hmm.
we need to watch on that show.
Maybe Nene Leakes will do it. I feel like there's been a lot of talk about her.
Oh my God, I didn't think of that. Okay, so that would be amazing because I did hear like
She
they're all
she has such a big personality, and I feel like on that show you need to be low key. So I don't think she'd make it that far, but she's really funny, so maybe she could make it like a few episodes.
yeah, you know what it is though? It's crazy because you can't guarantee yourself to stay. So it's like, say they put someone like Nene on, and we all want to
Hmm.
watch Nene for the next 10 episodes, right? But that cast might get together and be like, bye. And like, and you're gone, like they did to Dorinda, right? And you're gone
Yes.
in 2 seconds and it sucks. That's what I hate. Like producers have no control over like who they're placing in, even as they're like bigger stars, because they can go in
Hmm.
2 seconds if the cast decides, nope, we don't want this star, bye, and then they're
Hmm.
out. Which is like the
Yeah.
freaky thing with traders, right? It's like a little
Yeah. Well, I wonder if they try and like infiltrate the game a little bit, like maybe like helping certain people get shields like behind the scenes, like placing it somewhere that someone could find. Because like I did hear that it's like illegal for producers to infiltrate a game show. But
oh,
traders is a little different because it's like also comedy.
right. Oh, that's true. And I do think of that when I'm watching it. I think like a producer knowing like what I know for the last 15 years on reality TV. And I'm like, I know the producer does not want that person out. Like they do not want that person to leave the
Hmm.
show or whatever it
Yeah.
is. So I'm
Uh-huh.
sure that that goes down.
Well, on The Bachelor, the producers like will keep certain girls longer on purpose.
See, yeah, they're also, I'm like, it's a game, but they're also, it's a show, right? At the same time that they're investing their money in. So I always think of that on the back end. Lastly, about traders, what did you think about Tom Sandoval? Like,
Right.
what did you think? Because I'll be honest, I thought he was funny. I thought he was needed for a lot of like the funny stuff. And I feel like he redeemed himself a little bit there where people were like easing up a little bit. And I saw some things on Instagram where it's like, all right, like, they're giving him a little bit of a break after he went on that show. Do you agree?
Hmm. I do think it was a redemption for him. I think they showed him in a new light than we've never seen him before. And I think he's changed a lot since all that public scrutiny. So I just felt like we saw him in a more like calm, he's definitely like aloof and full of himself. And, he is who he is. And I really don't think he's out to harm anyone. So at the end of the day, like, at least, he doesn't have like this agenda. Like, he seems like a nice guy who's just really involved or whatever. So, just let him do him. Probably not someone I would want to be friends with or like even like take a picture with, but like, like like just I felt like he got some redemption.
He did. He did. And you know what? I've always said, and I'm not like a fan. I've met him a couple times on like at award show, wherever we were together. And he's nice. He's a little standoffish, to be honest. Like he's nice, but he has his thing, where a little bit of a cockiness, I would say to him. So I feel like that's why he gets
Just meet him
a
where he's
lot of
at.
heat. Yes. But here's the thing. Like, I don't know if to like a lot of guys do cheat, right? And I feel like he really got dragged. It's like, guys
No,
cheat
he
on
did
their
it so
girlfriends.
bad. It was so bad. You can't cheat with a friend in
You
it was
cannot.
horrible.
I know,
Yeah.
you cannot, and especially do it on reality TV. But I just feel like there's guys out there that are cheating on their wives with kids and all of this. I'm like,
Oh,
this
and
guy is,
in-laws. Yeah.
oh yeah, oh my god, yes, like crazy shit.
Monica. Or yeah, but I
Uh,
think it was just like fans were so invested for 10 seasons and then for that relationship to blow up. So that's why it was the way it was, but it definitely is not, the first time that's happened, and there's a lot of people who do stuff like that.
of course, but you know what? It all worked out for Ariana, so good for her.
And she's the best. She's so sweet and humble and kind. I love her.
She is. She is. I really like her a lot. One of the hardest parts of getting older is feeling like something's wrong with your body, but not really knowing what. Everything just feels off. And I've come to realize it's not just aging, it's hormones. Women, our bodies and our hormones are so complex. And if anything goes off balance, the whole body suffers. That's why I want to tell you about Happy Mammoth's Hormone Harmony. Hormone Harmony is a herbal formula that fine-tunes the hormonal system like a musician tunes a guitar. It doesn't just help with estrogen, it also helps with stress hormones such as cortisol, a little troublemaker that can contribute to weight gain, among other things. Happy Mammoth, the company that created Hormone Harmony, only uses science-backed ingredients that have been proven to work for women. They make no compromise when it comes to quality, and it shows. The results are so impressive. There's over 40,000 reviews on their website. Women cannot stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. That's because Hormone Harmony can help with such a wide range of problems. Hot flashes and night sweats, racing thoughts and low moods, poor sleep and lack of energy, and occasional bloating and gas. Yeah, Hormone Harmony can help with all of these things. According to a survey, 86% of women started losing weight. 77 say it improved their mood. And the biggest benefit, 100% of the women surveyed said they're feeling like themselves again. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code Melissa at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code Melissa at checkout for 15% off your first order. Imagine an app designed to make you use it less. Seems counterproductive, no? Well, Apartments.com's instant alert feature works exactly that way. Instead of scanning rental listings a million times a day, simply set and forget your search to whatever you're looking for in a place and let Apartments.com do the rest. From pet-friendly apartments to balconies to in-unit ACs, Apartments.com's powerful search tools let you know when your perfect combination of features you're seeking is listed. So you don't have to power through rental descriptions one by one. With more rental listings than anywhere else, Apartments.com's instant alerts mean you can spend less time online looking for the perfect place and more time doing you. And Apartments.com has more than just apartments. They have all kinds of homes, from houses to townhouses to condos to apartments and everything in between. They've helped millions of renters find their perfect place to live, the ones that check off all their own personal boxes. So check it out. Apartments.com, the place to find a place. Okay, let's talk about Jersey. We had to end this with Jersey. I mean, first, let me just ask you a couple questions. I just want to know what people are saying on the street. So, like, what are they saying behind our back out there in the influencer world and the content creator world? Like, what are you guys hearing?
I think we would all just want it back. We all
Right.
miss it. I mean, Jersey's my favorite franchise, like my OG favorite franchise. It's always been my
I love
number
that.
one. So it's like I miss it so much, and I hope that they figure it out. Um, so I'll ask you a few questions about it. I want to start off easy.
Okay.
I want to know
Okay.
if your kids watch the show and like what they think about it, like especially like your sons, like have they ever seen it, and like how do you keep them so unfazed and unaffected by it?
So, when they were younger, no. I mean, let's not forget Joey was literally born on the show. He was 2 months old at his christening. So,
Mm-hmm.
for 10 years, he was a baby, literally like a baby on the show. And
Mm-hmm.
then there would become like scenes that only, you know, how they show your family scene. That
Yeah.
would be the only time that if I were watching it, I would be like, Joey, come look at yourself. And like he'd run over and it would just be the family scene. I kept them away from, including Antonia, the heavy, the hardcore, you
Mm.
know, decade worth of drama forever. Like I wouldn't talk to them about it. I never tried to side them with me.
You
I
just kept
just
it so
never,
separate.
so separate. And honestly, that's truly just my parenting style. It's just
Yeah.
who I am. I understand everybody's different. For me, I don't think they need that. For me, it was always a negative feel. Anytime I saw it or saw the family fighting or saw Joe and his, like I was like, like it hurt, like it
Mhm.
feels gross inside. So I never wanted them to feel that, because for what? I don't need you on my side. You're always going to be on my side. You're my kid, right? So
Mhm.
I never tried to lure them in or talk bad or get them too invested. I swear the only time they would watch themselves if it was like a cute family scene where Joe was babysitting the kids and like they all made a
Mhm.
mess. I'm like, look at you guys, it's so cute. Just to make them feel positive about the show and not feel like stressed out about it. And I do truly think it's, you know, we keep a very humble household.
Mhm.
And I mean that in a way of like, we treat everyone in our lives the same, no matter where you work, what you do. That's
Mhm.
all they see from Joe and I, right?
Mhm.
So that's all they know. So they don't believe, like, oh, they don't walk around with an air about them. They don't act
Mhm.
like, oh, my mother is on this reality TV show. Like, I don't act like that. They don't act like that. So nobody knows that, you
So
know?
so they're not watching it now that they're older though.
Okay, so let's move it up. So now Antonia, yes, Antonia
Yeah.
is now watching it.
From the
She went
beginning?
to yeah, I think she knows it all. I mean, you can't
But
on
still, it's
TikTok.
like the curiosity. I would definitely, if my mom was on The Housewives, I'd eat that up.
No, so she's not like sitting on the couch and starting season 1 episode 1.
Right. Like I would just
No.
be so curious if I was a kid and then I was an adult. Like I would just want to at least just see it and know what was going on. And
I
then I can
know.
not care and not be affected, but I just want to be able to see it, you know?
Yes. I mean, she lived a lot of it. She
Yeah.
started at 4, and believe it or not, she remembers probably a lot more than the boys do. The boys just
Right.
don't give a shit. Like they really
They're
don't
so
care. They're like,
cool.
whatever. Like
Yeah.
they don't care. She is now more invested. You know, she's also an influencer now. She works with a lot of
Mm.
brands. She's in college.
And what is
So
she studying?
so she's studying business.
Mm.
She's definitely going to be in business and want to do stuff in real estate and in
Oh,
business. So
cool.
that's what she's getting her business degree. But she is very she'll give her opinion now more than ever. Where before she was just like this sweet young like teenager. Now she sees stuff and she does get annoyed. She gets annoyed
Mhm.
by some of the clips she sees or
I'm sure.
things that she'll hear people say on their podcast or what advice, like anything negative. She's like, why? Like she just doesn't get it and she doesn't understand the need for it. And
Mhm.
so she gives her opinion now. And honestly, you know, I could only protect her from that for so long. She gets
Mm-hmm.
offended now. Now she's like, she does
Yeah.
get grossed out when she hears family members say certain things. She does have an opinion. She keeps her opinions to herself. She never fires back. You don't see
Yeah.
any of that.
You've done a
But
great job. Your kids are so cool. I could just tell. And I feel like you're such a good mom. So that really shows. I
thank
have
you.
another question. I want to know, how do you keep up with messy Margaret? I feel like she's always stirring the pot. I feel like she's really petty and messy. She's fabulous television, and I definitely appreciate her on the show, but I just feel like, how do you keep up with someone who's so messy all the time? And like, maybe you should call her out more?
Okay, so Margaret understands the assignment. She
Yes.
understands the
You
assignment.
subpoenaed the wrong bitch.
Yes, and to know me is to know I don't like shitty people. I find them in 3 seconds and I push them out.
Hmm.
I am swearing by and I'm promising you she's actually a very good person. She's a
Hmm.
great friend.
Yeah.
She understands the assignment and she'll bring certain things up and talk about it, but that's why she's good at what she does. Deep down in her core, she just wants people to discuss the situation. She doesn't want to drag you, hurt
Mm.
you, take your business away from you. If you start turning your cheek a little bit and watching it that way, you'll see what I'm saying, where she'll bring a situation up, but she's not trying to drag you through the mud or hurt you. If anything, she'll bring it up and want to like talk you
And
through
then
it.
she'll
And then,
move it on. She moves on really quickly too.
yes,
Yeah.
Margaret's great at moving
Okay.
story. You have
Yeah.
to give credit where credit's
Oh,
due,
a
Zach.
hundred
She is.
percent.
And she's got that like, I don't know, like this quirkiness about her that's just Margaret, you know? And when it comes to and I've called her out. I feel like people always forget when I called her out. But when
Hmm.
she was saying stuff about when Louis first came around, when she said it, I was like, absolutely not. I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me about it. And that all aired on TV. Of course, people will forget. But like,
Yeah.
I've always called her out. I'm like, Margaret, you're being messy. That's why I like Margaret, because I can literally yell at her. Like, I can
Mm.
literally say to her, I don't agree with you right now. You're being ridiculous. And she's like, why? Why am I being ridiculous? I'm like, because you are, you know? So I appreciate my relationship with her. I get like some people who are on that like Margaret kick where like she's the troublemaker, she's
Hmm.
messy, she causes the problems. I it's really not like that. She's more of a hey, we need to talk about this, but she's not like a hey, I want you to suffer or take something away from you. It's the people on the show for me who truly wish bad on you on the show, off the show, behind the
Hmm.
scenes, however they can hurt you. Those are the people that are toxic that you're like, no, 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 this is not. But someone like Margaret who's like, okay, guys, we're going to bring up this conversation because we have to talk about it. Answer like that to me is not toxic. That's understanding the situation and her giving you you can answer it whichever way you want, you know?
Hmm.
So that's my take on Margaret. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
I love that. I think
Okay.
as a longtime Jersey fan, if the show ever comes back, ideally, I think I would like to see the first scene be between you and Teresa having a sit down and just being like, you know what? We're not going to get along, but let's just coexist in peace and it's not going to be awkward. And then I would like to see both of you on the show to try and just continue without fighting. And I guess, what are the chances of that happening?
0%.
Ah,
Yes, I hate to burst your bubble.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
not happening. I know it's so hard because a lot of people but look don't you feel like last season we coexisted? We basically did that, right? Was that
Yeah,
fun to you? Did you
but it
like
was,
that?
yeah, I still liked the season a lot, but it still felt like there was still like tension, and I'm just like, I
I
feel like
know.
for me, like I've had so many horrible friendships and it sucks when there's, and I just want sometimes there to be like peace just to clear the air and be like, we're good. So you don't like not like someone anymore. It's just like, we're just chill.
That's my whole vibe. Trust me. That's me.
Yeah.
That's like
Okay.
I don't want to argue. I live a good life. I live a happy life. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to watch anybody be miserable or suffer.
Right.
I'd rather be like, you stay over there, enjoy your life. I'll stay over here. Don't talk about me. I don't talk about you. Like
Yeah.
I'm hearing my name every time I turn around on
Right.
podcasts and
And
with
that's what I would say to her too.
new influence, all these I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my God, here we go again. It's all happening again. Like I haven't even I have separated myself
for
and I have
sure.
a completely, I just don't need to do that all day long. So God bless whoever does. It takes a lot of your energy to be mad. You know this, Zach, to be mad
Hmm.
at someone that mad, it kills yourself. It kills your
Yeah,
insides. You got to let it go once in a while.
for
And it's
sure.
like, live and let live, baby.
I will
You
say
know?
is like I'm a hardcore Jersey fan and I never took sides between the two of you. I've always liked both of you. So I
Really?
feel like I'm in one of the few people like who I'm not passionate about that fight. Like I really root for both of you.
Right. Well, that's good. And there are a couple people out there that are like that. I think people are more so than just like one side or the other. They're team family, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we just want to see this family work it out. But
Not
sometimes
even that. I
things
just don't want fighting anymore. Like I don't care
right.
if you guys work it out. I just don't want you guys to not like each other. If that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah. Well,
For sure. But I hope the show
there's
comes
been a
back.
lot of hurt there. There's a lot
I
of hurt
know.
of things
I'm
that it's just
sure.
hard to move past. And then when it just keeps coming, when there's not even no reason for it, it gets like, all right, there's certain things you don't do for a paycheck anymore, right? There's certain
Yeah.
things that you're like, I need to worry about like, what's toxic and good for family. So you start to separate yourself from people and it is what it is. But that's to be continued. Like we will see what Bravo decides.
I mean, if they keep both of you, you're going to have to figure it out in some capacity. But if not, I mean, it'll be wild and the internet will go on fire the day that there's a decision made. But I do think they need to revamp it like they did with Atlanta, like keep half of the girls and get half new girls. And I don't even know how they're going to decide. And I think they're going to still wait because it feels like it would just be such a slap in the face to one side on Jersey, where with Atlanta, it was more just like some people left on their own. And that's kind of why they
right.
had to revamp it, where Jersey, it's just such a crucial decision.
Oh, it is. It's totally like Bravo's pulling their hair out, right? Because it's like nobody. It's
You
too
can't
like,
pick.
oh, right. But there's ways. There's ways that they can figure it out, and I think they're the experts, right? So they're gonna just see how to keep moving it forward. I don't think they want to be in this rut anymore, and no one wants to deal with any of us calling the publicists all day long, like they're talking about me again. They're oh my god, they want to
Yeah.
they want to kill us.
Yeah.
They're like they want to pull their hair out, but that's nice of you to feel that
Well,
way, and I
and I'm sure if you
appreciate it.
go back, you want it to be less toxic and you want it to like be fun because otherwise it might not be worth it if you're just fighting with people all the time.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to go back to like, whatever's going on in your lives, like issues with that fun girls' nights out,
Hmm.
fun this, fun that. Of course, petty drama and like, why'd you say this? Why'd you do that? You're rude. You didn't invite me here. Let's get
Yeah.
back to like the original housewives. Let's go on fun trips. Let's like have petty drama. Why are we trying to ruin each other at off camera? Like, why is this happen? Why are we trying to break marriages? Like, are we serious over here? Like who are we? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I just feel like the world's different now. They don't want this deep, dark, disgusting. They want to see like a feel good show. And I just think the world's changing. Like they want happy. They don't want the deep, dark, disgusting. So
Yeah.
I'm sure Bravo's like thinking, working it out, whatever. Who knows? But we'll see what happens when it comes to all of
Hmm.
that. But I don't know, Zachary. All I know is I'm so happy that you came on today. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have you. And what's coming out for you in 2025? Like anything that we should pay attention to? Any good clips you're coming out with? Tell me something.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Some exciting things coming up. I'm interviewing the cast of Handmaid's Tale this week at the Paley Fest in the
No,
Dolby
no, no, no. My
Theater.
favorite show in the world. Now, I never miss one episode. They send me things. They send me like their swag because I'm so obsessed.
Okay. Well, you'll have to. Can you send me a couple of your favorite things about the show so I
No,
know?
I'm
Yeah,
obsessed.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
obsessed. Oh my God, that's amazing. Good for
Yeah,
you.
so
Sorry,
that's
cut you off.
exciting. Yeah, and then I'm also going to be interviewing the cast of Poker Face at the Paley Fest as well this week. So it'll be different for me to kind of interview actors. I'm really used to focusing on reality TV, but I think it'll be fun to kind of just like push myself and, get out of my comfort zone and just challenge myself. So that's really exciting. I'll be working on my TikTok. I mean, that's my bread and butter. That's what makes me happy. That's my community. So everyone check me out at Zachary Reality. That's where I put most of my content. And I do have a podcast as well where I do a lot of interviews with people from Traitors, Deal or No Deal Island. It's more of an interview podcast. So it's sometimes I'll do recaps, but it's truly just whoever I interview. It could be 8 minutes or 40 minutes. And I post like interviews almost every week, multiple times a week. So it's not consistent, but it's just fun for me and I get a lot of good juice there.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Guys, make sure you check him out, Zachary Reality. He's so much fun. Zach, thank you for coming on today. And I have a huge dropping with Sprinkle. So I'm going to send you the new drop.
Please, I'll do a review.
Yes, you need to do a review. It's very exciting. So that's coming to you next. And good luck with everything in 2025. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you. On display, on display, on display. Woo! Bye, everyone.
Looking for your next case? Pluto TV has all your favorite crime dramas streaming for free.
You're gonna need some backup.
Which means suspense is free.
Very cool.
Watch CSI New York, Criminal Minds, Blue Bloods, Tracker, FBI, and SWAT all for free.
You can't outrun this.
Someone's gonna pay for all this crime. But it's not gonna be you.
Take care of business, fellas.
Watch all the cases, all for free, from all your favorite devices.
We got you.
Feel the free. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.